All right, good morning. Welcome to episode 242. My classroom is the aftermath of photography club and Gnarly and Charlie. I've got some stuff to clean up before third period when the students will file in. This episode is going to be about organization and planning, because that is something I wasn't. Of course, trying to share my mistakes with you so that you don't make them. But you know what we need to do first? Before we have our little chat, we need to have a little coffee. So in this episode, I want to talk about organization and being organized and planning and kind of organizing your plan. And so I'll tell the story, and then maybe we can figure out what it's about. Last week I started working on a video of episode 238, which you're probably like, hey, there's no 238, what happened? And what happened was it's a tutorial on composing pictures with the feeling of depth, spatial depth. That seems like that'd be a good topic. And so I started taking pictures to go with the tutorial, and I started shooting clips. And I sat down yesterday to kind of start editing that, and no, I don't have any of the pictures. I have the iPhone pictures. I have 4 or 5 pictures I took on my iPhone, but the DSLR pictures that I went and was very intentional about taking them. Now I don't know where they are. They're not in the folder they're supposed to be in. They're not on any of my SD cards. And somehow my method failed. Somehow I got to some place, someday, somewhere between taking the pictures and Sunday, and deleted them or put them in the wrong place where they'll never be found. I have a pretty good system with SD cards and storage and the cloud, and it generally works. This time it didn't. And because it generally works, and it has worked for 237 episodes, there have been mistakes along the way, but moreover, the system has worked. So if the system works and yet I lost all my pictures, what does that mean? That means that I didn't work the system. If the system works and there is a failure, it is because you didn't work the system. And that's what I didn't do. I somehow did not put them in the right place in the right sequence. And what I think happened was I got to photography club on Thursday, and everything was kind of exciting. There was like this huge excitement with all the students and the cameras, and we were setting up backdrops, and someone was like, wait, I need an SD card. I think I just grabbed the one that had the tutorial on it and hit the format button. And that's what happens when you get in a hurry, and that's what happens when you don't work your system. So there was your meaningful moment. That was your meaningful moment for this episode. Now, a couple other things before I bring this to a close. This is going to be a short episode for numerous reasons. I got all this mess to clean up for one. Short episode, but here is a couple things. One is, I want to talk about the Small November project, which is no longer November. It's now December 10th. This is my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom, if you happen to watch this. Those of you who are my mom, happy birthday to my mom anyway. You guys, she'll be, I think she's 79 years old. My dad's 85. My dad will be 86 in February. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, I was going to talk to you about my No Small November project. And it's November, it's not longer. Wow, those Auto caption is gonna love that. They're gonna, who knows what that's gonna say. I don't even know what I said, so how can I expect auto caption to know? No, all right. I'm gonna say it this time. This time we're getting there. We're getting to the point. So I worked on that thing. I started actually on it in August. I worked on it periodically, and it was going along pretty good. But I put a ton of time into it in November. And I thought everything was going well until I got to the place where I had finished the first book, the first novel. I had there's 47 action sections, and then there's some auxiliary pieces. Well, I got to the end and I was like, okay, let's go through, let's Q&A this thing. Well, there was a bunch of pages that were coming up with the error 500 code. I fixed them, and then there were some different pages that were coming up with an error 500 code. And I thought I was doing something where caching on one computer was overriding caching on another computer and something. And I was thinking, how could Wix have been so short-sighted? Still didn't fix it. I went through all, there's like 55 or 60 different pages. I went through them all like 3 or 4 times. I finally sat down the last time. I sat on one computer and went through all of the pages. And I got to the end, and when I went back to the beginning was broken. And I know that I had fixed it, so now I started digging. If I had, I should put the rant music in here, but I'm not. You can just imagine. That's that. Finally found, like on the bottom of a help page, you go to a help page and it says, did this answer your question? And then it's like other topics, and I went to the other topics, and then I went to the bottom, and then there was this little note. It was just like known bugs. Known bugs. This is a known bug. It said the Google API only at this time allows 10 connections, which may mean if you use it more than 10 times, some of your pages won't behave. That's something that should have been in the instructions. When on the page where where the first thing it should have said was like, this is an awesome API. You can grab your Google Docs and display them on the internet. It's amazing and awesome. Oh, except that you only do it 10 times. That seems like that would have been something in the product description. So I figured out how to fix that. During lunch on Friday, I figured out how to fix it. So Friday night, I started working on it. I went through all the pages. And instead of using the API, I'm using iframes. If you're into web design, I've never been a big fan of iframes, but that was the solution. And it seems to offer, within the Wix environment, it seems to offer some flexibility that I've been looking for. So, World of SILIAR, www.siliar.com. There was one more thing. Oh yeah, this. I'll be right back. This is a little watch, a little person's watch, something to do with my wife and her job. And I get to look at this today. See if I can figure out how to get the battery out, which seems like I should be able to do that, and maybe get it to work again. I think she thinks, and I probably agree, that it's a dead battery. All right, World SILIAR. And lastly, I want to go out on this. We're going out on this short but probably very circuitous. And see, there's your word for the day. I should start doing that in each video. Have like the word of the day. Circuitous, not in a straight line. Episode. I did this segment on Friday with Gnarly Charlie, whose name is Charlie, and Jacinda, who doesn't have a cool name yet, and she's working on it. And there's no name for the episode yet. Also, if you have names for the episode that you would like to throw in, you can just throw those down in the comments and suggestions. That was A, ton of fun, and B, it was very successful. Okay, there's 2 more things, this and then one more after that. Very successful, very successful. People liked it. People liked the video. It got a lot of watches. It got a lot of likes. It got a pretty good number of comments. And not only was it the the people who are in it and their closest friends, but my regular subscribers, you guys know you are, who commented on it and made mention of that. So that was really cool that everybody kind of came on board with that. I think they're going to come on Tuesday afternoon, which is tomorrow, and shoot the segment for this week if they're only going to do one segment. And they both felt like they wanted to have a little more focus. It'll be a growing process that will include them. Lastly, another video I dropped, this one on Sunday. This is a video called No Chains. It's a video about your fears, and it was kind of inspired by the all humans struggle concept that Brian Blasic has come up with. And the all human struggle concept is that people let themselves be stopped by whatever kind of struggles they may have in their life, whatever their struggle might be. And I wanted to do this song, first of all, because people seem to like to watch the songs, and I guess they're looking for that cringy thing or something. But this one came out, to me, I had a lot more ideas for the video aspect of it. But when I started editing and putting it together and I got to the place that it is currently, and I watched it just to make sure all the words were in the right place musically. And I thought, wow, that's pretty much what I was going for. And so, and it also has been received very well. Both of those videos surpassed my normal watch average. And also, lastly, before I get out of this very long circuitous segment, the new subscribers in the last few days I've had, I went to 500 and then it dropped back to 498 or 497. Then it went back to 500. And that was pretty cool. And now it's at 509, or at least it was last time I checked. So the last group of you guys, welcome to the channel. Please keep interacting. I love to hear your comments and questions. And this brings me right to the outro, the exit, the end of the video moment. What's my hand doing? It's going to be this kind of week. It must be this kind of week. What is the hand doing? Apologies to those of you who like the more serious, thoughtful videos. This was not that video. As I was saying, this brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for notifications, leave me a comment, a question. It's something I haven't been saying for a while. Please share this video with someone else who maybe their organization has become a little sketchy. Maybe their execution of a tried and true system isn't working as well as it should. Whatever the reason, share this episode. That is all for this one. I will see you in the next one.